These are Kenya's most terrifying massacres ever witnessed in history. Face exhaling. Number 1. Kiambaa Church Massacre.
Pia hii ni kaburi ya kijana mwingine alikuwa anaitwa Jehia. Pia tuweza kujua jina yake kwa DNA. Na huyu ni bibi yangu, mama watoto. Na sasa huyu anaitwa Edith Mumbi Githuku, mimi ndiye Githuku mwenyewe.
Edith Mumbi Githuku, born in 1964 and dead in 2008. The grave and cross telling the story that shocked the entire world, the lowest point in the history of independent Kenya. Githuku remembers that day in Kiambaa village in Eldoret very well. It was just days after the 2007 presidential election results had been announced.
Tarehe 31 ndio tuamkie tarehe 1. Na tulipoamkia tarehe 1 on Tuesday sasa, na kwa sababu watu walikuwa wamelala nje, watu walikuwa tu wana uchovu nini, na tulikuwa tu tumetulia bila wasiwasi kwa sababu tulidhania itakujiwa usiku labda, na hakukujwa. Lakini baada ya kama saa 4, saa 5, between saa 4 na saa 5 ndio wafamizi waliweza kuingia, wakiwa watu wengi kabisa kutokea kwa mashamba jirani. Wakakuja hivi sasa vile mtu hangeweza kugoja kwa sababu watu wakiwa wamezidi huwezi ngoja. Watu tulimutu walijaribu kuponya uhai wake.
At that time, he had an idea of where his wife and children were. In his mind, they were in one of the safest places on earth, the house of God.
Sasa bibi yangu mwenyewe na watoto wangu wakaweza kutorokea hapa kwa kanisa kwa sababu hapa palikuwa na watu na walidhania kwamba kwa kanisa hakuna kitu inaweza kutokea kibaya. Lakini kwa bahati mbaya ama bahati mzuri, hao wavamizi waliweza kufika mpaka hapa kwa kanisa hili. Na walipofika hapa wakakuta wamama, watoto na wazee. Kuna baadhi ya wazee ambao waliuawa hapa, wazee 6. Siku hiyo na mapanga hapa nje ya kanisa. Wakaweza kuweka kanisa moto, na mimi siku karibu nilikuwa
35 people were set ablaze in a church while seeking refuge at the height of the 2007-08 post-election violence. This is what President William Ruto was taken to ICC for but pleaded innocent. A mob set ablaze the church where people were taking refuge, burning 36 people beyond recognition, correspondents say. Number 2. The River NYALA massacre. Residents used to wake up to multiple bodies stashed in body bags floating on water. It is said that some were thrown there to be silences by government official as bodies were retrieved with fingers cut. Residents claimed some of the bodies were brought to the site in a black double-cabin pickup truck, and that a white Toyota Probox was spotted occasionally in the area at night or early in the morning. In December, some pupils who were on their way to school spotted the vehicles. Bodies were dumped in the river before the vehicles were driven away, Mr. Amandi said. He added, other than the bodies that are dumped around the falls, some are thrown upstream and then flow downstream. Some are retrieved while others just decay because people don't claim them. The bodies of 2 people of Somali origin were retrieved in December.
Rocks prevented from flowing further downstream. Nearly every month, at least 2 bodies are retrieved from River NYALA's depths. We keep searching.
Now, we've been here barely 5 minutes and there's a very strong smell hitting our nostrils. And I know the smell of death. So we're going to go through here to try and find out exactly what's the source of that smell.
By the riverbank, one more decomposing body reduced nearly to a skeleton. It may have been washed up here by the high tides, says my local guide. No one yet knows who they are or how they died. This man is the local diver who has been retrieving bodies from the river for over 20 years.
Previously, I would recover bodies and within a month of taking them to the mortuary, they would be claimed. This time, it has taken very long. Everyone who comes says, this isn't my relative.
Now families missing loved ones are trooping to the mortuary. This man hasn't seen his brother since he was allegedly abducted in August 2020.
2 saloon cars hijacked him. We don't know the plate numbers. They were white and maroon. Since then, we have never seen our beloved.
Police have now begun identifying the bodies, a process authorities say may be complicated by their state of decomposition and how far they may have traveled downstream.
When you've looked at the state of these are bodies that have been in various forms of decomposing. It's a serious challenge, and we normally rely on the issues of the fingerprinting, and then we send this to our national databases in Nairobi. But when the fingerprints are not there, the task becomes quite enormous.
It will likely be a long process finding the families of the dead, and police are not ruling out the possibility that this river could be hiding even more. Ferdinand Omondi, BBC News, Yala, Western Kenya.
If the government was serious, they would ambush and arrest the drivers of the 2 vehicles that have been dumping the bodies in the river, she said. Number 3. Kware massacre. Some were missing lower parts from the weights down. Kenyan citizens claim it's their president and the police that orchestrated these actions. These dismembered bodies were found wrapped in sacks and polythene bags of assorted colors, which were tied majorly with ligatures, and retrieved from a garbage-filled quarry pit opposite Kware police station with a similar pattern of packaging, according to yesterday's statement on the X platform of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. This horrific incident is a mass fatality issue. It represents a grave violation of human rights and raises serious concerns about the rule of law and security in our country. Number 4. Paul Mackenzie famous fasting deaths. The cult leader in Kenya was charged with murder after more than 400 bodies were found buried in shallow graves in a remote forest in the east of the country. Survivors and victims' families have said Paul Mackenzie urged followers to fast in order to go see Jesus. Police plan to charge him with terrorism-related offenses. Hundreds of bodies have been dug up from dozens of mass graves spread across his 800-acre property, located in the coastal county of Kilifi. Mackenzie insists that he closed his church in 2019 and moved to his property in a forested area to farm. Autopsies conducted on more than 100 bodies last week showed the victims died of starvation, strangulation, suffocation and injuries sustained from blunt objects. Let me know in the comments section which was the most horrifying case in your judgment. Please remember to subscribe for